Hey guys, FilthyRobot here, continuing our playthrough of EU4 with Arumba. And finally, we're attacking the English again.
Yes, we were considering a 3 or 4 year period of peace, but the English gave us an opportunity we couldn't pass up.
That's right.
This is one of the disadvantages to playing a nation that relies on navy, is that positioning is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
If you were playing a landlocked nation like Castile, all of your land is touching, and so
Yeah. You just
you never
wander
have to
stuff
consider
around.
that.
Yeah.
But the English made a big mistake here in putting their whole army on the mainland. So what's probably going to happen is that the 16 stack's going to get onto the boats. Then the French are going to come in with their 20 stack, and they're going to smash that 10.8, and it's just stack wipe.
We hope. We just saw like the losses of our last allies were so pathetic, you know. So we hope that this 20 stack can kill this 10 stack.
He should. The French still have their historic general Jean Barrot. He's a 4-4-1-3.
He's pretty amazing.
He's a god general. He's amazing. And even though they have a tech disadvantage, they should crush that army with Jean Barrot. Let's just hope Wallace doesn't die. So how do you want to do this war?
Our manpower reserves need to recover. We failed to complete a mission.
That mission is not allowed while you're at war. Okay. So because we went to war, we failed the mission.
Yeah.
Which is
what
fine.
Did you ask me? What do I want to do about what now? Did you watch Critical Role at all? You ever seen that show?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Oh, we won't get into it, but I thought you asked how did I want to do this? But anyways.
No, I don't remember. I have no idea what I was going to say.
Okay, that's fine. I rarely listen either. Now that you bring it up.
Nice. Okay, so our army's deploying properly. Oh, I was going to say, what speed do you want to play this war on? 2 or 3? Probably 2 would be safer, because you're going to do a lot, like pretty much all the control. John Barrot, where are you going? Kill the 11 stack, you dummy. Why is he going to Poitou instead of going to Gascony? That is wrong. He's making the wrong decision. We need to pull back the army. Don't put the 1 stacks out to Norfolk. It's dangerous. He can land his navy. If he docks his navy in Norfolk, they'll land within like 3 days. They'll just show up suddenly, stack wipe at 1 stack.
Right.
Cannot afford to have
I will turn him around and head back to Yorkshire. I think he's already committed. Yeah, he's locked in. So he'll land and just run off again.
Yep.
He's like a scout. This is rowboat tactics. I like it.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to finish the siege of Gwynedd, finish the siege of Derbyshire and Lincolnshire, and then after those sieges are complete,
consolidate.
We're going to send everyone to Lincolnshire.
Yep.
We're not putting them in Lincolnshire now because we don't want to suffer an attrition tick with the entire army.
Yep.
It's a minor thing, but we'll wait 1 month and then we'll park it all there.
Okay.
Most likely, I expect the English to land their troops in London.
I mean, I did call France into this, right? They are at war, right?
Yep. Oh yeah, they're blue. They're allies.
Yep.
So he is deploying an army to Avignon, which is interesting. He should stack wipe that Papal State army. I don't know why he's not, but hopefully we do get a lot of participation in this war and we don't end up having to give England everything. Our 1 stack just took care of his job in Ulster, so he's going to go work on blocking Pale from training troops now.
Okay, good.
Keep your eyes open for transports. I don't see any yet.
Okay, so now I can pause. There's a 16 stack that just showed up out of fucking nowhere. Sneaky motherfuckers.
He may have landed in London, but he did march. Interestingly, he has no leader in charge of that army though.
And he's going to Lincolnshire, and it's only 16. So we are already there. Let me go take a look at this map mode. Wait, yeah. So I see you doing it ahead of time. So much for me being in charge of this war.
I'm sorry.
No. I'm happy with that. I just want to know what the hell's going on.
That quickly, I just undid it all. It's all back the way that it was.
Oh my god! You probably reset its march time. You're leaving me with no options here.
I didn't mess with that one. I don't make silly mistakes like getting half of our navy killed for no reason. Why would I ever do something like that?
All right, I don't want to fight them in Lincolnshire. Lincolnshire is flat. We get no defensive bonuses.
Flat's not good, but it's not horrible.
Yeah, but we get no defense bonuses. He's got a bigger army. He's clearly gunning for us. Why don't we make him come fight us somewhere useful, like Derbyshire?
Fair enough. We could do that. Let's do that.
That's just +1 to all of our dice rolls, right?
The only argument I would have for actually wanting to fight that army right now is that if he's dumb enough to actually march a no-leader stack into our terrain, our occupied territory, you cannot appoint a general to an army that's not in controlled territory. So if he keeps marching and he gets to Lincolnshire...
What's our pips again? So if I go to F1 and I look at our general, which is under the military tab, and I look at our general, he's 2-2. So actually, I see why you're so excited about the no-leader stuff. Because that's essentially... So we get 1 more in Derbyshire, but who cares when we're getting 4 in Lincolnshire that he's not getting. 2 in each phase.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see that. I'm okay with that.
Not to mention, even though it's flat terrain in Lincolnshire, there's a river crossing. So he would actually have a -3 penalty if he doesn't appoint a general.
Okay, they're going to arrive on the 17th. If we click on here, we arrive on the 17th too. What the fuck happens when it's a tie?
Well, because we have one stack already there, we will be the defender.
Then we're doing that.
And also, to make sure that we're safe, I would move Wallace to the 11 stack. So that he gives
Is he
the
not
25.
there already?
No, he's in charge of the 1 stack in Lincolnshire
No, that's
right now.
not reasonable. All right, so I'm going to
Put in
click
charge
on
of
the
the
11
stack.
stack. And I'm
That'll
going to
increase their movement speed by 25% due to the 5 maneuver. So they'll arrive faster.
Okay.
Now they're there on the 16th.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, beyond that, we don't need to worry about the siege of marches while there's a potential battle happening, so I'd pull 6 of those infantry off of marches to go reinforce the battle in Lincolnshire.
All right, let me just do that real quick. I can click on, doesn't matter which way I do that. I can select this unit and go that way.
Beyond that, do you want to be greedy or do you want to be prudent?
Greedy.
You want to be greedy? Really?
Yep.
Okay, then I'm going to say don't take Tech 6.
I want to be prudent.
Take Tech 6.
Recalculating.
Yeah, we're going to end up paying an extra, like, 18% of the base cost is...
No, I want England out. If we can get England out, it feels monumental.
We're essentially trading 108 military points right now to hopefully guarantee our victory. And I do think that is very prudent, and you should do it, yes. So take Tech 6.
Okay.
So we instantaneously just gained... We didn't even talk about this. We mentioned how Tech 6 was important, but we just gained some massive increases to infantry fire and shock value. And if we hadn't had those versus the English, then...
yeah, we did this wrong. We shouldn't have done that. We should have waited till his movement was locked in before taking that tech.
Yeah, that would have been a good idea.
Yeah, okay.
For comparison's sake, if we hadn't taken the tech yet, and he had a 0.95 shock modifier for his infantry versus our 0.65, you just take 0.95 divided by 0.65, he would be doing 46% more damage in the shock phase.
Yeah, okay, that's ridiculous.
Time. It's a huge tech level, and that's not even factoring in tactics.
Yeah, I think he's going to fucking turn around now. Let's hope not. All right, let's see, though.
Maybe not. I mean, he's so close. Let's just wait one day. He's still going. He appointed a general, though, so now it's a 1-2.
Ugh.
We're going to have the maneuver advantage, so that's going to give him the river crossing, which means that he's effectively not a 1-2. He's effectively a 0-1. So
and we're effectively a 2-2. Okay.
It's our 2-2 versus his 0-1, equal tactics.
He's at full morale, we're not.
That is true. However, we don't know for sure what his full morale is. Our full morale might be higher than his full morale. So
could be. Our prestige has taken a lot of hits in the last couple of years. Okay, I'm at least willing to give it a couple rolls, see how Girthy does.
Here's one thing I would definitely recommend you do then, is change your military advisor.
Interesting. Check. Okay, so I'm going to go...
military advisor.
I'm at the count... Okay, what about him? His reinforced speed is plus 33%. So we can... If I click on...
Please don't fire this one, by the way. There's a Morale of Armies advisor available. Click on his portrait to hire. I would definitely hire that Morale of Armies guy right now.
Okay.
It's way better than reinforcement speed guy.
Which is my recruits. Yes. So I'm recruiting him. Okay, done.
Nice. You didn't fire him. Awesome. My official name for all advisors is whatever it is the thing that they do, guy.
I think that's reasonable. That's the totally reasonable way to do this. So this is the military guy.
No, he's the Morale of Armies guy.
Yes.
So we've got the reinforcement speed guy, the fort defense guy, the Morale of Armies guy.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because then I don't have to pay attention to silly names like Army Reformer and the hell's this other guy here called? I don't know. Like I know what they do, but it's just silly. I have to remember extra information.
All right. Are you trying to add to the tension of this moment right now? By kind of wandering off in some weird tangent right before we have a big ass fucking fight?
I'm just a little bit nervous because the army that is reinforcing from marches isn't going to be there till the 21st. So that means that we're going to be fighting... It's only 4 days.
I am willing to move to the tree region. Tree region has rivers too.
No, we can't at this point. We're already locked to combat.
Okay, let's fucking do it.
But now if we tried to retreat, he would pick off one of our stacks. So... All right, let's see how Wallace the Girthy does. Holy crap, does he have a lot of morale. We have more morale than he does, but he's got more
morale than you're expecting.
And he just rolled a 9 in the first phase, minus a 1. So 8 versus a 9. Wallace rolled an 8. Nice job, Wallace.
Yeah. Still, it's a big roll for them. They're friggin' 9.
Yeah. Okay. It's a bad phase to roll well in, but let's see how he does in the first shock phase. That's the important one. And we got a 4.
Oh, we got wrecked there.
So this is just going to be a bad phase for us. We're taking combat. Remember how to check to see if they have any combat ability modifiers on infantry and cavalry?
Nope.
You get just hover your mouse over the front row of each troop type.
Okay.
Hover over the cavalry, the little divide by symbol, the dash, whatever it's called. Hover over an X, just check to see if they have it. They don't. I'm just trying to get you into the habit of checking things like that.
Okay.
Okay, next fire phase is...
Thank God, he said... Okay, that's better.
Nice, a 9 versus a 6.
Okay.
Like, and here come the reinforcements. They're already there. And he's actually sending a 1 stack against our 1 stack. Curious. And
Should we grab that 1 stack that's walking through and leave it to fight that 1 stack that's moving into us? Or no, we should reinforce this primary battle.
Yeah, at this point we can't get that 1 stack out.
Okay.
They're just gonna end up fighting that other guy. Whatever, it's 1-on-1. Let's see how they roll. Let's let them duke it out. So Wallace rolled well here. This next shock phase is gonna determine this battle.
And
nice!
Good rolls for us.
Okay, which other province do you want to name after Wallace? Because I almost feel like he deserves 2 at this point. This guy has won.
Well,
essentially won.
It would have to be Inverness because we're looking at girth here.
You want to just like, that would be so cool if you could just like combine 2 provinces into one. Just say from now on, this is 1 province, all named Wallace. But yeah, this Wallace guy has just essentially won 2 major wars with England for us. Because it might not look like it right now, but his 6 versus a 0, he's going to crush for the next few days. And we're going to win this battle just based on that 1 roll. That's amazing. Yep, and the English are forced to retreat.
Excellent.
So you asked before, a couple episodes back, about prestige from battles and army tradition. We never really talked about it. But let's go ahead and take a look at this battle.
Shit, I just dismissed it. Can I get it back in any way?
No. You're going to have to look at the next one then.
Okay.
Don't do it so fast next time, okay?
There's so many pop-ups. I have to dismiss so many things.
I'm going to pull Wallace to the 1 stack.
Okay. Because you want to risk losing him just for shits and giggles?
Well, we got to wait 1 day. No, I'm going to wait. Basically, I'm going to reinforce this 1 stack battle that's going to happen over here with Wallace.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, get the movement speed, get him over there. 2-on-1, we should win. Let's do this. Notice that our 14 stack in Lincolnshire, if you hover over the attrition indicator, right, grab the army itself, while you have the army interface opened, you remember that little skull right where it says like 14,000? Reinforcement speed is 50% because we are not in our own actual land. So if we want to reinforce at full speed, we got to backtrack to Yorkshire right now.
I think that's reasonable.
So we can do that, or if Wallace was in charge, we would still be able to reinforce at full speed, but we might as well... well, we can't get there before the end of the month anyway, but we might as well have him doing stuff.
Oh, we've gained trade protection causes belly against Lubeck. Hunt down the privateers that harm your trade.
Wallace just stack wiped that 1 stack instantaneously. Do you still see this battle pop up, or did you already close it?
No, it's there. I have not closed yet. Okay.
You didn't get into that bad habit yet. So at the top of this, you can see some numbers now. Prestige gained, army tradition gained, war exhaustion. Okay. That is what that Wallace being in charge thing affects.
How much prestige did we gain from the fight versus the big stack, the 9, the whatever it was? Did you remember?
I've already forgotten. I wasn't.
Have you left this open? Did you leave it open so you could consult that later? Did you write it down? Did you take a recording of this recording so you could reference it later?
I did take a recording of it.
You gotta back this shit up.
Yeah, let me go watch. I'm gonna stop my video, go watch the video, and I'll be right back. But so as you can see, we gained 0.24 prestige from that battle.
Oh, by the way, we would have been crushed without the military tech.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why I asked you, do you want to be prudent or do you want to be risky? Because it would have been Wallace would have had to just
he would have had to been lucky
to actually beat that fight.
Okay, so we should spread some troops out here. So although I think it's no, I don't think we should be spending all of those back right now because we want to continue sieging marshes, right? And we're gonna have to fight that 9 stack again in like 2 minutes when it stops running away.
Well, because of the zone of control in London, we're not going to be able to track down the 9 stack. We can't try to like go and stack wipe it.
Yeah, I understand. But I mean, we don't want them too far away from marches, right? Because I expect that will show up over this way again.
Yeah, I think what we should do, you march them to Yorkshire, then you march them to Lancashire.
Okay.
Just consolidate the army. The best course of action is going to be to put your troops in a position where they can recover at full speed, because that's what the English are going to do.
Yes, although we can recover at full speed in their territory when it's being led by Wallace.
Yes.
Yeah.
However, I did it backwards, and we actually want to pull Wallace off of the siege of marches because we want him to be movable.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't want to increase his death chance. Beating the leader of a siege doubles the chance that your leader gets a death tick.
What is this? What does this enforced peace from Castile pop up?
Oh, interesting. Castile demands that you make white peace against England or they will join the war against you. That is horrible. So Castile is a great power.
Yeah.
And apparently they are not allied to England. What is their relationship to England? The English opinion of Castile is 136. The Castilian opinion of England is 133. They're friendly toward each other. They He's demanding that we just white piece the war right now.
That's obnoxious. We're fighting England. Piss off. Mind your own business.
Then say decline, but now we have to fight Castile as well. Before you do that, do a quick assessment.
We don't want to fight Castile. We do not want to fight Castile.
No, we don't. But we're not gonna take a 5-year truce with a white peace truce with England right now.
I know, especially after we just won this like super critical moment of like.
Yeah, no, that would ruin everything. Wallace deserves this. Damn it.
That's right.
And besides, the Castilians aren't going to fight us. They're going to fight the French.
Good point. Good point.
They're not going to come over here. They're just going to go. I mean, between.
By the way, the French are fighting The French have quite a bit of troops, by the way. 37k roaming around in there that we can see. But there's an 18 stack of Portugal and that 8k of Papal State that they're fighting. What are they going on over there? They're rolling like shit.
If Castile hadn't just done this, I have confidence that the French would win the war on their side of it.
Yeah.
But you got to remember that Iberian wedding event?
Yeah.
Castile is not just Castile. Castile is Castile, Aragon, and Naples.
Yeah, they're going to be super strong right now. This is why I'm a little concerned about this event.
If we go to the ledger and we actually look at those nations, Castile is going to bring in 30,000 troops on their own. Aragon is going to bring in 18k.
Yeah.
And Naples will bring in 7k.
It's a lot.
So 18 and 7 is 25. And then Castile was how much again? I already forgot.
I forgot too.
So 25 plus Castile's 30. So that's 55,000 troops.
Yeah.
The question is, and this is why I'm still actually kind of willing to consider doing this war. Continuing the war, that is. If we keep control of the English island, then the only person whose war enthusiasm that matters is the war leader, which is England. If we can occupy England's capital and this other fort, then who gives a crap how big the army is that's rampaging the lands of France?
Yes.
Because when the English get tired of the war, when they have 15 war exhaustion and they just want us to leave them alone, it doesn't matter what Castile thinks. England gets to negotiate the peace deal.
Okay, couple thoughts all at once here, and they may or may not be useful. First of all, the English and French fleets are fighting in the North Sea, and that's a small English fleet right there. Could we reinforce that? Where is our fleet right now?
It's all in Ayrshire, except for the new ships, which have just been sitting because we don't want to risk them moving around.
Okay, Ayrshire. Damn, okay, so it's not in Lothian. I was wondering if they're in Lothian because I would be able to get there. Okay, that's the first one. The second one is we have a mission now that actually seems quite useful to me. We gain 5 prestige and 25 diplomatic power, which would be great, which is just to... And all we have to do is get Burgundy's opinion of Scotland to 100. Seems like
it's gonna be a little tricky, but it can be done.
Okay, so I'm going to accept that.
Burgundy has positive 5 opinion with us right now, and we haven't improved relations with them at all. The most you can improve relations by is 100, so the highest we could take it right this second is 105.
Yeah, we only need 100, so that's fine.
It's a feasible mission, but it'll take a long time.
Okay, I think that's doable though. We should start on that. We have a diplomat, and let's accept the mission. I mean, I guess we don't have to accept the mission until it's closer. That would give us...
No. If you get closer, the mission won't become available.
Oh, okay.
Only reason it's available is because it's the rival of a rival, and their opinion of us is not very high.
Got it. I'm accepting it now then.
Yeah. Okay. Take it, and start improving with Burgundy.
So we're declining this enforced peace. Oh, by the way, you said it will auto decline. Hold on. You said it will auto decline in 3 months if I don't do anything.
That's true.
Because that's the first option is decline.
Well, in this case, it should be. I don't know.
Yeah, on the pop-up, left to me is decline, right to me is accept.
It's a very rare thing. It's incredibly rare for the AI to actually try to enforce peace on me, at least. It's probably one of the first times this has ever actually happened to me.
Okay. So I guess what I'm saying is we have 3 months in this, either way, right?
Should be.
Okay.
At least 2 that we can go without making the decision yet.
All right. So let's say exactly. Let's wait until
the next battle, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, yeah, at least 2 months. So I'll leave this up. It doesn't give me a date on this, unfortunately.
Well, today's the 18th of January.
Yeah, but did it pop up today or did it pop up? I mean, this is when we paused. It was the 18th of January. So.
That's a good point. We have no idea. Yep. Let's just assume that it was January the 1st for argument's sake.
Yes, exactly. So anywhere in February and March, right? So anywhere through March we can do this.
By April 1st, we need to make our decision.
Yeah, and exactly.
The prudent course of action here would be to just accept and then wait and see if something changes. And maybe we just go and attack Denmark right now instead.
No.
We just invested so much in the tech.
I am emotionally invested in England now.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear it. You should be.
All right, so our troops are wandering around correctly? Yes.
Yeah, I just sent them all to the right location. I also moved one of the ships over to Ayrshire because it was like a 4-day trip, which was safe.
Do we want to go siege Marsh?
Um,
Oh, what's this fucking big stack of English when there was any? That's a 20 stack of ships, but there's no units on that.
no, but the 16 stack we just fought, he will not have consolidated most likely, and it's probably recovering somewhere in the fog of war down there on the southern coast.
Okay, what else is going on over there? France is still fighting Papal State. Okay.
We could also check the ledger to see if England has started hiring mercs, and he has not yet. So that means that 16 stack is still just a 16 stack.
Good.
So best case scenario for us would be if we see the English stack show up in a province that's not defensive terrain that we can reach, like say Essex or London, we want to go fight it right now.
Okay, I'm gonna keep that overview online then, so I can see that.
Also,
okay,
since Wallace is now in charge of the primary army and we can reinforce at full speed, I would recommend we move it into hostile territory, so we can still recover at full speed, but instead of just recovering, we also will get loot.
Okay.
And we want to probably be in the best location possible to engage either an army marching on a marches or one of those opportunities to fight him in London or Essex. So probably.
All right, I'm misunderstanding. I need a quick recap on zone of control then. If we're in Derbyshire, which is in the zone of control of marches,
yes,
we cannot move out of Derbyshire into Lincolnshire.
Yes, we can. We can move away from the zone of control.
Okay, but we couldn't move into Oxfordshire, for example.
Correct.
And we couldn't move into, and that's the only one that borders. Okay, so we can move out of zone of control. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. Okay. Timing.
And actually, hold on, this is really weird. Okay. So this is one of those really weird zone of control mechanics. Technically, Oxfordshire is not in the zone of control of marches. And you're just gonna have to.
It fucking borders it, and it's a fort.
I know.
No, don't give me these half rules that only apply some of the time.
It is. Okay, hover over Oxfordshire.
Yeah.
While you have the, well, just hover over the province of Oxfordshire. In the tooltip, it's within the English fort in London's zone of control. So
you can't be inside of 2 zone of controls?
It can only be an effect of 1. So for whatever reason, probably due to the fact that London is a higher level fort, it has decided that London's zone of control supersedes the strength of the zone of control for marches. Ergo, our army is allowed to march into Oxfordshire because it's not going from the zone of control of marches into another province inside the zone of control of marches. It's leaving the zone of control of marches into a completely new zone of control. Easiest thing you could do, just grab the army, grab the 17 stack.
So hold on. So let me clarify this then for my understanding. So we could go from Lancashire into marches, from marches into Oxfordshire because that's leaving zone of control. And then we could go from Oxfordshire if we wanted to Derbyshire because we'd be leaving London's zone of control and entering another territory, right? So we could fucking wander around pretty much anywhere we wanted with this army because of that. The way the zone of control works, it like leaves this big gaping hole in their zone of control by having overlapping zone of control. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, the provinces that aren't currently sieged that we have access to are Marches, Oxfordshire, London, Essex, and Norfolk. But the easiest way to visualize it, just grab the army, and while you have the army selected, little indicators will pop up that show. Do you see them?
I see yellow circles, green arrows when I mouse over them, and red X's sometimes when I'm not. So
red X means you can't go there. Green arrow means you can go there.
And what is the
yellow means that they're within a zone of control. You don't know if you can go there until you put the mouse there.
Okay.
So it zone of control, man. This is why I actually like the newer system that they decided to cancel better.
Okay.
By the way, you didn't send a diplomat to improve relations with Burgundy, so I'll do it.
Yeah, I always assume you're doing the diplomats because I hate them.
Sorry, you hate them, but they're so important.
I think it's time we cut this too.
Yeah. Next time we want to go to Derbyshire. That's what we're gonna do. But we've got 1 month or so, well, a month and a half before we gotta finally ask this decision. So.
Yep. Next time we make the decision.
We'll see you again in the next episode, everyone. See you soon.
See you soon.